All right. Aho, blessed day, family. It's Luis here, live from Phoenix House. Happy full moon. Happy lunar eclipse. Wishing all of you many blessings, much insight, much activation on your path, on whatever you're going through, whatever growth is calling you to be more greatly embodied in who you are, what you have to share with the world, what you're here to do on this planet. Thank you for showing up for who you are here today, right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I wanted to talk about self-worth today. So as this full moon's coming through, I realize that this is a big topic that's up for a lot of beings right now. We could even say, in a way, this is something that's up kind of universally as we come to recognize what worth and value means to each individual person. So when we talk about self-worth, I want to point out one important thing that sometimes we forget about when we're talking about our self-worth, is it's our self-worth, how we value ourselves, how we value ourselves. It's not other people's worth or how other people value us. Right, so I just want to clear that, like we're talking about how we value ourselves, how worthy we believe ourselves to be, right? And I want to start by saying, think about the source that created us. It was infinitely abundant. Okay, so when we talk about worth, we also talk about value, how we value ourselves. We, by our own nature, just simply by existing, are infinitely worthy of everything. Just by nature of having been created, having come into existence, we are infinitely valuable. We are infinitely perfect, infinitely abundant. Okay? You could look at it like there's mountains and mountains and mountains, like of support here looking upon us to reflect that same degree of value that we already are, that we all inherently carry. But when we're talking about self-worth, we want to think about too, like, how do we view ourselves? How do we look at ourselves when we're thinking about our self-worth, right? So when we're talking about who we are in our, right, so it's our self-worth, our self-talk, our inner world, our inner landscape. If we have self-talk that is uplifting to who we are, or if we have self-talk that is downgrading to who we are. It's this the beauty of it, that it's the power's in you and how you value yourself, right? So when we're talking about ourselves, when we're thinking about ourselves, when we're thinking about our dreams or thinking about our goals, thinking about things that we want to do, things that we want to share, right? Sometimes the words can come up of like, well, who am I to share X, Y, and Z? Who am I to do X, Y, and Z and Z? Like, you're infinite. You're powerful. You are a blessing to this world. That's who you are, right? And this is this remembering of that, right? So we also think about maybe sometimes we have in the past, right, treated ourselves or those around us in a negative way, and maybe that's where the lack of self-worth is coming from. Maybe, oh, okay, I've done X, Y, and Z, so I must not be valuable. I must not be worthy of good things in my life, right? I must not be worthy to share good things. I must not be worthy to share my creations, right? Sometimes those thoughts can come up, right? So this is that opportunity where we get to like use this full moon, use this portal that's here right now to identify what those things are, right? So we can look at, well, where did this story begin? Where did this story start when I say that I'm not valuable, I'm not inherently valuable just as I am, just sitting here, just existing as a being, right? We're starting there. And so a huge part of this is recognizing that it's our own standards that we set for ourselves. Letting go of comparison of like, well, this person's doing that and those people are doing that, and you know, these people look like me, so I should be doing this, or those people are in my such and such, so they should be doing that, and I should be like this, and we're comparing ourselves. We take on these narratives sometimes we have in the past, and this is what we're clearing today, right? We're clearing in this moment. We're clearing those narratives of who we are based on what other people are doing or how other people are doing it, right? This is the value that you inherently place on yourself. And it starts with the wellspring of natural, living, divine abundance that flows through you in each and every moment. And all it is pausing to take a step and acknowledge that within yourself. By acknowledging, I am worthy. Just by being, just by breathing, I am worthy. I am worthy to have good things. I'm worthy to have great things. I am worthy to do good and great things. Right? So we also can think about like how we give to ourselves, right? When we recognize that we're worthy and we like hold value for ourselves, maybe we treat ourselves to things. Maybe we take moments to give things to ourselves, right? If someone who doesn't value themselves, maybe they won't put the energy and effort into giving something good to themselves because maybe we don't believe that we deserve it, right? So when you're holding a space of high level of self-worth, self-value, self-respect, right, you're going to recognize that you yourself are worthy of putting in the energy and the effort to give yourself good things, good experiences, right? A good space to be in, good people around you, right? So this is the doorway that we're clearing, right? So any time that we have taken on from others any limiting beliefs about ourselves, that was what we were holding inside. That belief in ourselves, and those people were showing up to reflect that to us. So as we continue to reflect back to ourselves, I am inherently worthy and valuable. I am inherently worthy of beautiful, good things, to do beautiful, good things in the world too. Because this is the part, is that as we recognize how worthy and how intricately, intrinsically, infinitely valuable we are to ourselves, that's how amazingly valuable we are to the world already, right? So this is where we're activating the beauty of the truth of who we are. So maybe you've got a message, you've got a vision, you've got a mission, you've got a truth that lives inside you that is here for you to share right now with the world. When that wellspring of self-loving abundance comes up and flows out through you, everyone is better off for it, right? And obviously you're better off for it. And that's going to naturally flow out into the beauty that you put into the world. So we're waiting for you. We're here, we're listening, we're holding this beautiful space. We're like, come on out, come on out. We're ready for you to share. Like, share your words, share your gifts, share your messages. Each and every single one of us is worthy to share something beautiful and good in this world. That is our divine birthright. We come into this world infinitely beautiful, infinitely worthy to share goodness, to just by our own being. And then we follow up with that with the actions that we take. Our actions express how we believe in ourselves. So when we value ourselves, we take actions based on those spaces of self-worth and self-value. If we don't value ourselves, we take actions based on low self-worth and self-value. So this is your opportunity to choose, right? Stepping into that higher level of self-worth. And then we get to think about, what does a day in my life look like when I am fully embodying a high level of self-worth? What does my morning look like? How am I starting my day? When I know that I'm here, I'm loving myself, I value myself, I respect myself. How do my interactions with other people look like when I'm holding this space where I value myself? I'm worthy. Just me being here, right? Without owing energy to any other external being. Just you being inherently worthy, inherently valuable, right? So this is what we can drop into, okay? How does our creative expression look like? How are we expressing ourselves when we recognize that we are inherently worthy and valuable? So we take a moment to think about that. Breathe into that. Because it's going to look different for each and every one of us. How those days are going to look, how our expressions are going to look as we're embodying a high level of self-value and self-worth. What do our commitments look like? When we value ourselves, when we realize that we inherently are inherently worthy and valuable, we set high levels of commitments to ourselves, right? And we know that because we're worthy, we're not going to give up on ourselves, right? So this is also something that we can give to ourselves. Maybe in the past we've given up on ourselves. Maybe in the past we've done something to ourselves, or we've said that we were going to do this for ourselves. Oh, well, this is the forgiveness, right? So we're turning around. This is the gift of forgiveness to yourself. Resonating, I forgive myself for any time that I have acted out of low self-worth, low self-value, out of any lack of respect for myself. Forgiving yourself, giving yourself that gift right there, clearing the way for you to re-embody that natural self-worth and self-belief that is your divine birthright. And from that place, what you create in the world. Just imagine. Like, I'm already feeling it. I can see like the radiant energy from everyone out there believing in themselves, valuing themselves, stepping out of their comfort zone to share of themselves with the world. That's what we need. That's more of the sharing that we need in the world, is people sharing from this place. And yes, it's a stepping stone. It's a right? It doesn't mean that like we jump out there and we're like, okay, I'm starting, and like we just get it right away. But because we believe in ourselves and we value ourselves, maybe we step out there and we trip, we get back up, and we keep walking, we keep grooving. Okay, so that's that continual commitment to who you are as a being, your innate, self-loving, divine benevolence as a being, radiating out into the world. So thank you for choosing that. Thank you for stepping into that. Thank you for embodying that and radiating that into this whole sphere that we're co-creating right now, right? So I just wanted to share transparently, this is my challenge, right? So we think about, okay, what are the actions? This is a call of action for all of us here. What are the blockages or beliefs that are getting in the way of my self-worth? Or have been getting in the way? Because maybe they've already left today. Maybe the moon's already done its work. They're already gone, right? But if you sense they're still here, or you're already really feeling it, and you want to go even deeper, take a moment, right? What are the blockages or beliefs that have been getting in my own self-worth, getting in the way of me embodying my life, really living it? Maybe we believe in ourselves. We already hold the self-worth, but maybe we haven't transferred this inner to our outer. Maybe the life around us, the space that we're living in, the people we're communicating with, how we're communicating, what we're sharing, what we're creating, maybe that hasn't yet like taken form, right? So this is that same work, right? We're moving it from within to without to share it, right? The moon is in her fullness. The fullness of the light is shining, radiating, moving us here. The rains are coming, the waves are getting higher, the tide's changing right now. This is the portal, so. And then the second question, right? What actions can I take to support the clearing of any blockages to my self-worth, right? To my self-value, my self-respect, self-love, right? What actions, what do those actions look like? How does that look, right? So you find out what those beliefs are, and then you ask yourself, well, what actions can I take to move through those? Right? That's the step. Okay, you see it. Now let's working towards moving through it. And remembering, like, this is space of self-love and compassion too. So we're not forcing ourselves, right? We're not harming ourselves to try to break out of something. We're gently working with this energy that we've seen, right? And all the energy and support is showing up to us here, right now, in this moment, here today, and into the future, right? That supportive energy is around you here, stepping into greater levels of self-worth, greater levels of that embodiment, innately, inherently, infinitely valuable, just existing, just breathing. And then when you put that into action, exponential radiation of the infinite abundant light that you are. Okay. So this was my challenge today, right? What action could I take to step out, right? Practice sharing of my voice, sharing of my truth, right? So this is a reflection for you if you are wondering, right, what it looks like. Take a step forward. Step out of your comfort zone. It's a practice. Doesn't mean that, like for example, for myself, it doesn't mean that like I didn't maybe spend a good bit of time, like an hour, just like hyping myself up. Okay, what can I do? All right, I'm gonna. Okay, getting out of my head. I believe it. I'm feeling the energy. It's building. That nervousness is excitement. So when you feel it, you're like, ooh, that when that action plan comes and you get that action, you're like, ooh, that's a big one. I don't know. Lean on in. It's going to feel really good, and practice makes perfect. So keep going for it. Keep trying. Keep that commitment to yourself because you're inherently worthy and valuable. So you're going to commit on that level as well. And so the last call to action, as many people are out there resonating with the self-worth activation and recognize the importance of like every being on this planet having a sense of self-worth and value and self-respect, self-love, and how amazingly impactful, beautifully impactful a world filled with beings like that is, how much change we can bring to the world when we all are valuing ourselves inherently as beings. That's what we're calling for. Okay. So next Tuesday, if enough people reach out to me, tap in, we're going to do a 5-day self-worth challenge. We're going to be going live. We're going to be doing some journal work. We're going to be digging deep. So maybe you're already like, I just broke through. Bam, the energy's shifted, changed. Like, nope, no self-worth issues here. Boom, I'm carrying forward. Awesome. Keep going and thank you. Yes. More, please. Let's go, right? And if you're feeling it, but you're like, maybe there's somewhere I can go deeper, or you're just getting started, like, whoa, there's a whole portal here. But I'm starting to really look at where these beliefs are coming from. This is the place we're going to start working with this energy. So reach out to me, send a link in the comments, or you can direct message me, and I will invite you to the group. We'll probably just keep it simple, keep it on Facebook, and we'll keep that 5-day self-worth challenge. It's going to start next Tuesday. All right. So sending lots of love, lots of clarity, beauty, and blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you for showing up for the inherent natural beauty of who you are. Thank you for listening to your own voice. Thank you for listening to your heart. Thank you for taking heart-centered action in the world to positively influence all that we all are because you decided to show up. So thank you. Aho. Blessings. Yo.